Beep, 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 beep. How we doing? Good peapods, right? I do hope you're well today. I am. It's a bit warmer today. It's been cold the last few days. A bit warmer today, which I like the fact that it's a bit warmer. But hey, it's just winter. We have to put up with it. Please do. I've just dropped everything. Please do subscribe while I pick things up, right? Please do subscribe, right? Go on. Go and subscribe. Stop it. Right, go and subscribe. Down here. Links with the Dubras, become warrior teacher, buy me a coffee if you can help out, that'd be great. Yeah. So let's have a look and see what we've got here. Because Substack has produced some incredibly interesting stuff recently. And there's lots of them worth watching. In fact, there's so many worth watching you can't bloody keep up, if the truth be told. You've got to be so pinpoint. If you're in this, like I am, you've got to be so pinpoint in what, right, I'll do that one. I want to do that one, but I can't, because you've got to be very focused on what you're after. Otherwise, it eats your life. So we've got a guest essay called A Memoir of the Modern Gender Religion, and it's on the Substack of Matthew Mead. Is it the Substack or is it the Distance Mag? No, it's the Distance Mag. I'm going around the bend. I got it off Substack. Somebody sent it to me. This document, says Matthew, which starts with a great picture at the top of it, and the picture has got written in words, God is trans. They're nuts. There is religiosity in this. Look at the Indigo Children. Go and look at the Indigo Children. That's the name of the service in Manchester for the kids. Indigo Trans Services. They really do think there's some kind of special spirit. This document seeks to catalogue how the fingerprints of religion are visible on the modern concept of gender by bringing to light my story of how a group I joined fell victim to comforting fictions and noting the patchwork of history adapted into convenient philosophies. I hope to characterise the precursors of a fledgling gender religion with an understanding of what we face. We can plant green shoots for fixing communications between different factions and possibly invigorate the search for truth. Throughout the ages, the male role in society, while sometimes imperious, was often portrayed as protective. In many cultures, men were encouraged to become strong, resilient, noble guardians. The question of what it means to be a good man is as prevalent now as it has ever been. When it comes to gender, the tension between conforming and rebelling is personal to me. Once when I was young, I carelessly wore my sister's pink skirt with a shiny bow to school. Within 15 minutes, I was mortified. I soon learned I had better switch up my official favourite colour from pink to blue. Eventually, I learned to tune out the most malicious whispers. I'd ordered the Shirley Temple drink I wanted or play with my sister's Barbies and Beanie Babies. As I grew older, I talked myself into more masculine activities like sports. I figured that most likely I was out of the woods. But once I started getting the stirrings, it dawned on me that I was gay. I knew I was back to square one. Following the frustration of bottling myself up again in grade school, I headed to a far-left college and took a class in LGBT studies. The material was steeped in conjecture and divisiveness. It made the LGBT team seem like the opposite of a community. Unsatisfied, I doubled down on identity-based socialising and joined a campus organisation billed as a gay fraternity. I knew it might have religious undertones. American fraternities have a reputation for being like drunken druid temples. But I was eager to find an association that would accept me. Not only did the idea of a brotherhood help us gel as a group, it also felt comforting to be seen as sufficiently masculine. Whatever I was masculine enough. I was a man, and a bit of femininity here and there was okay too. The fraternity wasn't perfect, but we found brotherhood in having all been punished for the same secret, the same sin. For my whole life, neither honesty nor silence was enough. I could stomach a bit of quirky mysticism and partisanship if it meant that I was finally understood, that I finally belonged. After graduation and a few compulsory years of grunt work, I considered acting as an advisor to the fraternity. As soon as I put my toe in the water, it was clear that changes were in the works. Chief among them was that the new generation had dissolved the word brother and replaced it with the word sibling. Makes me heave. Accepting each other as gay men was no longer the mission. My insecurities flared. Was masculinity in a group of gay men so forced that the concept couldn't survive a single decade of evolution? I assured myself that couldn't be their intention and made sure to give their fraternal makeover a shot. After all, it was just one change. Not everything in life is a slippery slope. I tried to see the perspectives of the new generation. Many of the brothers in my cohort were mask muscle gays, the kind that had been conditioned to compensate for their sexuality by acting extra butch. Perhaps my group dealt with their demons by engineering a kind of strength. I could understand the criticism regarding conformity and the hope that newcomers might find a way to be kinder to their feminine tendencies. Perhaps I could learn from them. That said, I couldn't shake a couple of misgivings. I didn't fully agree that our sacred binding word brotherhood needed to be axed. If they hated that word, they could have made their own organisation rather than insisting on fixing ours. While affirming aspects of who they are can be reassuring, I didn't see why accepting femininity in yourself meant obscuring or mismatching sex-based words. Couldn't this affirmation amount to neglecting another part of who you are, your body? Convincing young males to believe they aren't masculine enough to count as men didn't sound all that pro-gay. The novel term toxic masculinity was used so rashly and frequently, it wasn't clear if any masculinity was considered acceptable or laudable at all. Unless masculinity suppresses something valuable, I hesitated to dismiss it as intrinsically evil. Surely there was such a thing as healthy masculinity, a protective, disciplined, stoic mindset that people had valued for millennia. There's plenty more for you to read in that rather good and rather thought-provoking blog. So my thanks to, make sure I get it right, Matthew Mead, for this guest essay that you've gifted us with. It's many questions that many gay men will have asked themselves. It's also about what happens when, whether or not you're a gay man, whether it's whether you're masculine or whether you're feminine. It's what's happened when the function of your growth becomes the focus gender. It's when your focus is how am I seen? How am I gendered? If you're a gay man and you've got that focus, you're in trouble. Because we're talking about the development of character. About going forward in the world and doing something. And you're going to have to play certain parts of the game if you want to do something and you want to get it done. You're going to have to play certain parts of the game. And, you can go home and do whatever you want. But there's the professional you, which needs to be developed. Well, that professional you might be somewhat feminine, might be somewhat masculine. It doesn't matter providing it's professional, because when you're dealing with people in a professional capacity or also in professional mode, they are going to take you seriously. Providing what you have to say brings something to the table as serious. This is why the most important thing is an informed opinion, not just an opinion. This is why own truth is nonsense. This is why lived experience is a bad teacher. This is why these people should not be listened to. It raises all sorts of questions. This feeds into all sorts of things that we can think about. So I do urge you to go and read it. It's a really good piece. Okay? You have a great time. I'll see you later. Thanks very much.